There is a player who is beating Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, and Kylian Mbappe for the Golden Boot Award this season. He is also scoring at a higher rate than some of the best players and goal poachers on the planet. That title belongs to a far lesser known name, someone you have never heard of. His name is Serhou Guirassy of Stuttgart. I definitely butchered that name. The 27-year-old baller might seem like an unknown entity to the casual football fan, but he was a very promising talent who had been on the radar of many high-profile clubs since his early 20s. He was just like any other hyped French player coming out on Ligue 1, but his career never seemed to fully kick off at the beginning. We have seen players such as Didier Drogba and Jamie Vardy, or even N'Golo Kante, who were late bloomers in their careers. This also seems to be the case with Guirassy, who finally finds himself in the right environment to make his mark. He has been exceptional at Stuttgart, and he has been quite the revelation. Guirassy is currently averaging an astonishing 2 goals per game, netting 10 times in just 5 matches to kick off the 2023-2024 campaign. These are truly world-class numbers that not even Haaland or Mbappe have been able to do so far. So, how did this player become one of Europe's rising players? Stick around as we delve deep into his skills, his story, and the impact he can make on European football. Born in Arles, France in 1996, Guirassy is not a product of one of France's premier youth academies. Instead, he rose through the ranks of Stade Laviols. I definitely got that wrong for sure. A team whose so notable achievements were 2 victories in the 1980s Coupe de la Ligue. In a 2013 Ligue 2 match against Le Havre that ended in a 2-2 draw, Guirassy made his first team debut as a late substitution. It wouldn't be until the 2014-2015 season that he would truly break into the team, and in the summer of 2015, Lille signed him after he scored 6 goals in 29 appearances. After spending time on the bench and in the reserves, he was sent on loan to Auxerre, I definitely butchered that as well, the following January, and started to display flashes of his potential, scoring an average of 1 goal every other game in the second half of the League 2 season. That was enough to convince FC Köln to snap him up on a 5-year deal in 2016, but he was forced to undergo surgery immediately after his arrival. He never really recovered from that point on. Injury issues severely limited his participation, and by the time he moved on loan for Amiens in the summer of 2019, he had only made 45 appearances over 3 seasons. Sadly, his injuries really took a toll on him, but leaving Germany turned out to be the ideal cure. Guirassy scored 9 goals in 23 appearances for Amiens in the 2019-2020 season, despite the team spent nearly all of the season in the relegation zone until the pandemic ended play, with Guirassy scoring 13 goals, including one against Chelsea in the Champions League group stages. It came as no surprise when Rennes decided to hire him in 2020. The next season, things slowed down a bit, with the striker scoring just 12 goals, but it was more significant that he stayed healthy the entire time. Stuttgart was searching for a new striker when Sasa Kaladic left for Wolves on the penultimate day of the 2021-2022 season, even though they had already secured their place in the Bundesliga. Guirassy met the criteria, and Rennes, who had just acquired Amin Gouiri from Nice, quickly came to an agreement for a loan. Stuttgart struggled once more, but their loanee stood out and finally finished the regular season with 11 goals from 22 games. To understand more, we need to go back to the appointment of current Stuttgart manager Sebastian Hoeneß. I definitely said that wrong, and I'm sorry. At the end of last season, Guirassy always had a superb finishing touch and could turn poor opportunities into goals. They refer to Guirassy as a true striker. He will score goals if you give him time on the field. One could question why he has never had a season with more than 11 league goals. But the right-footed marksman benefited from Hoeneß's tactical setup, which utilized his back-to-goal play and surrounded him with players who can feed him in the box. He responded with 5 goals in the new manager's first 8 games. If we look more closely at the forward's career, we see that no previous season, injured or not, saw him play more than 2,000 minutes. But when you adjust his goals scored on per 90-minute basis, his goal scoring is obvious. The Ghanaian uses precise mobility and teamwork to further his team's attacks. Therefore, he could still contribute to games where the service level is poor. It is outstanding to believe that Guirassy was able to steal attention from Kerry Harry Kane's great debut for Bayern, but it has also increased interest in the race for the Bundesliga Golden Boot. Man, so far this year, we're finding so many great talent, especially in the Bundesliga. I really haven't heard anything about this player at all in the media, and it's quite astonishing what he can do for Stuttgart. I love that he's beating more known names and that he's putting his name out there for everyone to know. I think if he continues his 2 goals a game streak, then there's no way he won't sign for a bigger team next season. There's just no way. He is for sure living up to his full potential, and it's really exciting to watch as a fan of him and a fan of football. So in terms of him, that's essentially pretty much it. I love his underdog story, and he for sure right now is going under the radar. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.